Hey, what's going on, guys? I was making this video about Iran, the Iranian war, I guess, that's going on right now with Iran. And, man, it's not good. I'm tired of the U.S. military being the protectors of the world. It's time for us to pull the Navy, the Marines, the Army. It's time to pull everything back to the United States, to the continental United States. That Navy is meant to protect the United States of America. It's not meant to sell around the world and protect all these bullshit allies that talk shit behind our back. And, the minute that, we try to do anything to help our country, like with tariffs or anything like that, they stab us in the back and go to our enemy and all that. I say fuck them or whatever. Pull everything out and let the enemy have at them. See how long they fucking last. Because they're not going to last long, I'll tell you that. Same with Canada. Maybe let the enemy come into there or whatever, which they're going to come in there anyway with their cars and everything. They're going to make sure every Canadian politician and anybody that's a big rolling wheel in Canada, they're going to be in a Chinese EV, being spied on all day. That's going to be a guarantee. Whatever. Sell out your sovereignty and your freedom to have a cheaper automobile. Good job. It's just not that though. They get free health care. They get all this free shit, like I said before, and I'm tired of it. And we can't have any of that because we've been spending all of our money on the military for the past fucking 50, 60 years to be the protectors of the world. Why our allies have sit back and they have no military. Look at Canada. Their military is a joke. It's like a police force compared to ours. Look at these other countries. Britain, France, their militaries are jokes. Germany, joke. Poland, joke. The Polish or Poland, they're probably the only other army in the world that can actually fight without us because they've been buying our military equipment. So Poland, I would say they're kind of the exception. They're one of the ones that actually didn't just take advantage of the U.S. They actually just wanted to build their military up. But yeah, all the other ones, fuck them. It's time to pull out. That's the way I feel. It's time for our military to protect the United States, not protect the world. And if you don't like that, then that's too fucking bad. There's all these homeless veterans and all these guys who bought into freedom and bought into saving this country. And then they went over there and they weren't even fighting for this country. They were fighting for some other country. Got brutally fucking dismayed or their heads scrambled from an IED. And now they can't operate in society. So what does society do? They just cast them to the wind, basically. Now they're homeless and can barely even find anything to eat, become drug addicts, etc., etc. And I'm tired of it. Fucking tired of it. While other countries live like pigs, basically, live like kings, our greatest minds or whatever, the people who gave their lives for this country have nothing, basically. Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. If you lose your job or anything like that, you could be homeless in a heartbeat. So yeah, I'm tired of it. We need to quit spending money on the military and quit protecting the world. I'm just going to leave it at that. How can you respect that flag or respect anything in this country when they're letting veterans fucking starve? They fight tooth and nail. They won't give disability or give benefits to veterans either. You got to fight tooth and nail for it. But if you're fat and you're overweight, or you're a person of color or something like that, you can go down there and get it in a day or whatever, and you got it. And that's how we need to fix that too. We need to fix the military-industrial complex, and we need to fix all that too. You only get it if you really need it. That's what pisses me off is these people, they get food stamps and they get all these benefits and then there's starving veterans. It makes my blood boil. I have no sympathy for anybody that's not a veteran. They're the only ones that should truly be homeless because their mind got fucking scrambled by an IED or they lost their arm or their leg or something. These other people, they're well-bodied. they lie to the government, though, and say that they have problems, that they're crazy, that they're this, they're overweight. Well, then lose fucking weight then. Set up government programs where it's weight loss programs. Instead of giving them money, you lose weight and you work towards becoming well-bodied so that you can go work a fucking job. That sounds too logical, though, doesn't it? That sounds too logical. That sounds too right. That'll never happen. No, they'd rather just give them money. Give them our money, right? That's our money. Our tax money funds that military, funds all them stupid EBT and government help programs that aren't really only for certain types of Americans. But them other countries, you walk into the hospital, if you broke your arm, then they cover it. Oh, here, it's thousands of fucking dollars if you don't have insurance. Even if you have insurance, it doesn't cover a lot of stuff. Then the doctors, they just won't put you on bullshit anyway. So maybe that's a good thing, staying away from the doctors. But it handicaps Americans, basically. Americans can't just go to the doctor like they can in other countries. And they complain and they complain. They complain like they have worse problems than we do. I mean, it's asinine almost. You know, our big three, our companies went over to all these countries and basically built up their infrastructure. If it wasn't for American trucks, and I'm not talking about F-250s and F-350s, I'm talking about Peterbilts, Mack trucks, international trucks. You know, I'm trying to think of the other one. It starts with a W. I can't remember it, but I'm talking about transfer trucks, big ass fucking trucks. These trucks built their countries. And, you know, they're willing to basically just push them out of the way, get rid of them for cheaper cars. Fuck them. Fuck them, dude. You know, Ford and GM and Chrysler and Dodge, they used to put out really good products. And they used to put out stuff that lasts a long time. And I know that in the last 10 years, their qualities went down the drain. But that's not really their fault. Their fault is... Well, it is their fault for outsourcing all the production to other countries and having their engines built in different countries, having the chassis built in a different country, having it assembled down in Mexico. They chose to build them crappy. They chose to get the valve lifters from China or from a different country, and they didn't build them right. So it is their fault, but then again, it ain't their fault because these countries ain't building the shit right for them. That's their problem. They need to get in there and either fix it or just bring all that production back to the U.S. That's the one thing I agree with Trump. It's time for the big three, or the big two, really, Ford and GM, to bring back all the production to the United States and just get the fuck out of these countries that they're so willing to just give up 50, 60 years of trade, 100 years of trade probably with Ford. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could go back in Canadian history, and I'm sure that all their cars that they drove in the early beginning were Ford Model Ts and Ford pickup trucks. So without that, they'd be fucking in horses and buggies and shit. They would not have advanced like we did, is what I'm saying. They would have been left in the dust. So without us, Canada doesn't become a country, or they don't advance as fast as we do. If you don't believe that, then you're fucking stupid. There's no ifs and buts around it. I mean, these people, they're willing to throw away fucking, our partnership basically just because of tariffs, just because we want to better ourselves, just because Americans want to better ourselves, they get mad. I felt like this for years, that every time somebody would say, oh, that's built in Canada or that's built in Mexico, it'd make my gut drop, because in my mind I was like, why ain't that built in America? Why ain't they building them vehicles in America? They should be building them vehicles in the USA. So I agree with Trump. Fucking get all production. But I disagree with Trump also on the fact that we're going to war with Iran. We're in so much debt right now that we have no business getting in more debt. And if they start blowing them aircraft carriers out of the water and blowing them destroyers up, they start blowing up our warships, you can just go ahead and start adding trillions of dollars to that debt. So wherever it's at now, I don't even know, at fucking 50 trillion, 40 trillion, I don't know. It's going to go up 10 trillion overnight. And then the U.S. is really going to be in trouble. then we're not going to be able to defend our actual fucking own country. Because we've been defending our greatest burden. I think Americans are waking up to it, though, but, Americans are like sheep, though. Americans, they harp on something for a few weeks, and then they move on to something else. That's what I've seen. That's what I've personally seen. Americans, they don't stick with it or whatever. Just like with the farming thing, the farmers, they're about to go out of business. And it's not funny, but I mean, it's fucked up in a way, because Trump, he gave $40 million to Argentina. He gave money to Brazil. What do you think they produce in Brazil and in Argentina? Cattle. So they're direct competitors with our cattle, with our beef growers. So Trump literally, he helped out the competition. And down there, they're using rudimentary ways to raise these cows, so it's cheaper. Where Americans are using, $100,000 King Ranch pickup trucks to pull their trailer. They're using like a little fucking piece of shit Toyota truck or something, or using a Isuzu fucking truck or something like that. So they're not even using American trucks. So they want to basically get rid of all beef production. I think this is what I truly believe. They want to either get rid of all beef production in the U.S. or get it down to a point to where it's just going to be a niche market, or it's going to be a niche thing. Like you'll be able to get one thing grown in America, but everything else will be from Argentina. Then they'll just, who knows how they're growing it. It's not looking good. That's what we should be worried about. We should be worried about our farmers and be worried about growing food and building up our working force. And people talk about how the younger generation, they've checked out society. Well, yeah, I don't blame them, dude. I wouldn't. If I was a farmer or something like that, I'd check out society too. I'd just farm my fucking shit, and then I would. But I know what that means when people say that. People, they're checking out of the workforce or whatever. Well, yeah, they're not getting paid a livable wage. They're going to find something else. It's not looking good, but I mean, the government and this country did it. They did it to themselves. First, they shipped all these illegals here to take all the jobs, Now that we're trying to get them out of here, now AI is going to come in and take a lot of the jobs. You'll still be able to be an electrician, a plumber, a mechanic. You'll still be able to do labor jobs, but like being an accountant or working a call center or doing anything like that, yeah, it's going to be taken over by AI. Any kind of tech work. That's what for the past 10, 15 years, the old timers have been telling young kids, get into the tech industry. That's where the money's at. So now all these people, they have these, they're in debt to the universities. And they have a trade that they're not even going to be able to use because they're going to be replaced in a few years by fucking AI. Not looking good. And what is our government worried about? Attacking Iran. Not helping Americans, no. That'd be the last thing they ever do. They'll draft all these young ones and send them to die, but they won't help them. They won't help them find a job. They'll help them into a C-130 to get blown out of the air. They'll help them into an Abrams tank to get blown up, or help them into a Humvee to get fucking blown 30 feet in the sky by an IED. But they won't help them find a job. That's the problem with this country. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people draping themselves in the flag and these old timers pounding their chest saying, go get them, boys. Why don't you go fucking get them? Why don't we put you in the fucking plane and you go get them, motherfucker? That's how I feel. Anybody that's talking, saying, go get them, boys, and I want to see Iran blown off the fucking map or blown off the face of the earth, yeah, you'll be the first ones to be drafted. That's the way I feel. And I agree with like what Jesse Ventura said, too, that politicians, if we go to a war in Congress and all that, that their sons and daughters, their first son or daughter, or it doesn't matter, but one of their kids of, past 18 has to enlist and has to join the army. They have to serve. And only then can we go to war. So, yeah, Jesse Ventura was right by saying that. I've done learn that Jesse Ventura is probably one of the only true Americans there is in the whole political outlook. He's the only one that really cares about Americans because he is a veteran and he knows. That's why he pisses off them other Navy SEALs, because he speaks his mind. He's not draped in the flag. How could you have any respect for that flag whenever there's homeless Americans starving on the streets? Or have any respect for our government? Hopefully Americans wake up to this shit, because we need to pull everything back to the United States, including production. Military, production, everything. We need to start taking care of Americans and taking care of America first. And then maybe the younger generation will actually care about this fucking country again. They won't just check out.